Hey everybody, my name is Rydo and we are starting a new series for the game Bastion. Bastion is a unique game in the fact that it has a mechanic where there is a narrator who is actually going to be commenting on a few occasions, quite a few occasions, about what I am doing as the player in the game. This is mostly a story-based game. It has a little bit of levelity to it, but it's not like a lot of my other series where you can just play it over and over again. We will probably only play this game once or twice from beginning to end, and then that will be the end of the series. I hope you enjoy it. I have a lot of other series out there that I recommend you go to my playlist, start checking those out. I'm not gonna go into detail of which ones, but there's lots and lots of series that are being released daily at noon. Well, not daily, Monday through Friday. I take the weekends off, but Monday through Friday at noon, new episodes for at least 3 series will come out, and this will be one of them. So I hope you enjoy it. That's about all I need to tell you to begin the game, so let's go ahead and jump in. It is just story. Oh yes, they do not really ever explain it, but this world that we'll be playing in, it does seem to be very strange. It seems to have some kind of magic in it or something where the entire world is floating, and it definitely gives a interesting visual appeal. So let's begin the game. So I can play as normal mode or no sweat mode. Let's just play as normal mode.
Proper story is supposed to start at the beginning. Ain't so simple with this one. Now here's a kid whose whole world got all twisted, leaving him stranded on a rock in the sky. He gets up, sets off for the Bastion, where everyone agreed to go in case of trouble.
So it does occur to me that one interpretation that I've never thought of before is this game might be all happening in the mind of the kid as the narrator.
Ground forms up under his feet as if pointing the way. He don't stop to wonder why.
So that seems to be a new thing for him too.
Finds his lifelong friend just lying in the road.
The Kale Hammer.
Well, it's a touching reunion.
So press B to attack. Press A to evade. Also, you can roll. So I can sit here and hit these walls, but
he sees what's left of the rippling walls. Years of work undone in an instant. In the Calamity.
Apparently there was some kind of calamity.
That a survivor? No, ma'am. It's a gas fella, forced out from underground. Kid pops him good. Starts to feel his bruises, though.
So, they intentionally, at this point, damaged me because I didn't take any damage with that.
Kid just rages for a while.
When I first played this game, this character did damage me, and he says something different. So that's a prime example of how the game is going to just narrate what you're doing in quite a few situations.
An old repeater falls out of the sky. Ain't a gift from the gods, but it'll have to do.
Alright, so we got a repeater. This is a
Gotta hold her still to spin up the chamber.
So you can hold down the button and shoot, or you can just tap the button if you just want to time yourself. You don't run out of bullets with the repeater, which is good. You can have two weapons, one for your X button, one for your B button. I'm using a controller plugged into a PC. That's why it says X and B.
Kid's worked up quite a thirst by now, so that fountain looks real inviting.
I suppose you could play this with a mouse and keyboard, but I wouldn't suggest it.
Sometimes you just need a drink.
So we go to the fountain, and now we have these healing potions at the top, and I can hit Y to heal myself.
A school of squirts tunnels up around them. Must have fled here from the mines.
So they got me. I can go back to the fountain to get another heal tonic. So that's why they...
Kid finds a memento from a girl he knew. Always used to fancy her.
Crystal barrette. A memento, a fashion accessory covered in soot. Holds great value, sentimental variety. Also holds hair firmly in check. Best hang on to it just in case. So we'll find little items.
It's a wonder the old saloon's still standing. Used to have the nicest view.
We will be getting other weapons, but there are only 2 that you can have at a time. So choose wisely. You can work different combinations to best fit your style. So now we go into the saloon.
He sets foot inside one of Celandia's famous watering holes. Inside's old Rondi, the bartender. The Calamity got him for his drinking did.
The Soul Regret is the name. So, either the name of this bar or the name of this chapter.
Then Kid finds his trusty shield.
So this guy has been turned into just a statue of ash. Now, you can, in this game, hit the statues of ash and dissolve them. But I think that'd be a little disrespectful, so I'm going to try not to hit them. We'll see several of these throughout the game. Whatever this Calamity was, it certainly did some massive amount of damage. So now I hold the left trigger to defend.
The security takes him for a petty thief. Clang. Shield saves his hide.
Oh shoot.
Windbags start turning up for last call.
This game's gonna get a little hectic. Notice my health. Did not heal in that fight. Just did
More
take
squirts
any
start
damage.
coming out of the woodwork. A big old fella pops out in front of the kid.
They're overwhelming me. You can target.
Kid sees
by
the way to
holding
the
it.
Bastion out the window. It's a bit of a drop.
So by holding the thing, you can target enemies. But I'm also collecting crystals, which they don't really explain as we break things. And the crystals will be helpful. So goodbye, old bartender. I'm jumping out the window like a fool. This game has a lot of imagery of jumping.
He gets a good look at things on his way down. He lands on top of a breaker's bow, and it ain't broke.
So we take the breaker's bow. Now we've replaced the Fang repeater with the breaker's bow. So Now you have to hold it back. When you flash, release it for the most amount of damage. If you hold it
Kid
longer,
spies a good perch for some target practice. He knows he should draw the string all the way back.
what does power shots?
The kid pockets a memento from a breaker, once the fastest man in the land.
So something stringy is an upgrade material for the breaker's bow. Stretched of beef gut prized by boas and pelt ball fans. One more reason the popularity of meese hunting. All kinds of creatures not mentioned, not ever seen in this game.
Good news is the emergency defenses still work. Bad news is they're aiming for the kid.
Break some of this stuff. Want to get some crystals. Be ahead of the curve. Power shot. Well, that one just fell into it. So I just picked up a brown tonic. I'm not even supposed to have those yet.
Picks up a few pointers from a dusty old tome.
Now I can click this as
He's a mighty
whirlwind.
fast learner.
So you get near this, and it creates an attack that is good when you get overwhelmed.
Right back at you.
So you can use your shield to
You
reflect
find
it.
the distillery, right next to the arsenal. Tough part of town.
When you touch this fruit that's on the ground, you're actually getting little bits of health.
One sip of the spirits in that distillery, and the kid'll feel like a new man.
So apparently you're drinking things that give you abilities. Interesting world we live in. So I have 3 things available to me at the beginning. I'm not really sure even why I have 3 things unlocked to me, but okay. So I can have Squirt Cider, which is plus 10 to your maximum health. Fermented Squirt Extract with a nose of stale bread and ocean water. Very nutritious. So there are oceans at some point. Somewhere. Why would fermented squirts? Dread Rum, 10% chance of critical hit only when you have full health. It's a pungent concoction that calms the senses and steadies the nerves. Favored by the breakers and other fighting forces. Or Fetching Fizz, which absorbs stray fragments. Started as a barroom prank, but evolved to become popular with miners and scrap workers. Metallic aftertaste. So I'm going to use Fetching Fizz. And that will just get those crystals I've been picking up a little bit easier. As we reach other levels, we can have more and stack. So
The arsenal's where the kid can pick the best tools for the job.
So I can choose between my bow, the fang repeater, or the hammer. We'll stick with the bow. Same is true here. I can even put the bow on the B if I wanted to, the B button instead of the X button. But I'll leave the hammer where it is. And then we have the right trigger abilities, which we're using Whirlwind. Uses 1 black tonic per use. It's a furious spinning strike. This is Dancing Shot, a secret breaker technique that causes the arrow to bounce from target to target. Originally intended for a spectacle, but it proved to have practical uses. Originally developed for the city's Masons Reckons team. And then you have Bolt Burst, a spiral of bolts that deals damage in every direction. So it would be a real bad idea to use this. And it would require, they're not even going to let you use it because you need the Fang repeater. So I can use this because I have the bow equipped, and I can use this because I have the hammer equipped. We'll go ahead and leave it on whirlwind. And so we've selected to change nothing. And we exit. So the opportunity to do that is going to be limited to the areas. If you got stuck, I suppose you could go back.
Some of them squirts birthing like crazy in a couple of corn bins.
So these little corn bins, what do you call them? Squirts will pop out of them like crazy to give them time. Oftentimes, if you just hit the boxes, just hit the corn bin, they won't have the opportunity to start doing damage to you. So here's another ash lady looking at the pond.
And then he falls to his death. I'm just fooling.
Okay, whoops. First time you do that, you really think for a second you've lost and game over. But no, you can fall. It just takes a little bit of your life away. Here's another ash statue looking for this pond. I have to assume.
Kid better watch his step.
Whoops. It's sometimes hard to tell what you can walk on and what you can't. But I assume all of this was on land at some point, and it's now floating in the sky for some unknown reason.
An old ferry barge sends the kid on his way. The Bastion's real close now.
If you don't pull it back strong enough, you'll have to hit it twice. Now, if you have 3 healing bottles and you pick up a 4th, you will automatically heal, which has an excellent ability. But it's certainly not going to
Kid
help.
takes a chunk of alloy. Smell of barley and spoiled blueberries fills the air. Scumbags. Kid maybe shouldn't have done what he just did.
This guy's huge!
Bad time to run out of black tonic. Kid puts him out of his misery. Robs a scumbag of his last meal.
Fill back up with health, break some of these blocks, break some of the rocks. Nothing in the rock. There's something. Sometimes you have this situation where you think maybe that was a platform window up here or there, but it doesn't. It's getting foggier. Oh, so as soon as I open the door, I have yet another reason to run back here to get more crystals. Crystals are the currency of this game, and very useful. I almost have 300.
He finds the core to the Wharf District. He steals the city's heart. Might as well. Kid has a feeling he better get a move on. The place is starting to fall. See, that core Kid took was the only thing making this particular rock stay afloat.
You gotta run.
Kid just keeps running. Somersaulting like crazy. At last, the skyway's in sight.
So if you're not fast enough, the ground will fall behind you. It's falling. But I was fast enough.
Whisks him where he needs to go. Now the kid sees something stranger still. His mind races. Did anybody else survive? Sure enough, he finds another. He finds me. We talk for a spell.
So, we ask him about the city crest.
There's a bit of the Bastion's power in that crest. Enough to point the way to the cores.
That's the thing on the back, on our character's back. We ask him about the core.
All I tell him is to set that core of his on the monument there. Then watch.
Then we ask him about the crystal.
I try to let the kid down gently. This is the Bastion, alright. Except no one else showed up. Ain't always much to say.
So as we find other items, we'll be able to ask him about that. Let's put the core in the monument.
And just like that, the Bastion comes alive. Starts growing again. Growing stronger. Kid's gotta put its power to good use. Now the Bastion can send him even farther into the wild unknown.
This is some strange organic magic technology. So we've got one core. We can build something here on the foundation. Something that will be useful. This is our main hub area.
Kid ponders what to build.
So I can either build a distillery or an arsenal. So I'll pick distillery. Now I can change my...
Makes time to sample spirits from my personal supply.
So now that apparently I'm at level 2, I can use some more things. And where did these things come from? I guess it's personal supply. So now we have Hardy Punch, a +1 chance to carry on if defeated, and it damages surrounding enemies if I am defeated. I have a Ware Whiskey, which is 100% critical hit chance, active only when the health is below 33%. I don't like that because I don't want my health that low ever. Or I can use Cinder Brick Stout, which is 33% faster when defending, pulling out your shield. And that's the one I want to use. Spicy, nutty flavors, a dry aftertaste, very heavy and filling. Scentless, yet very brisk beverage, boiled rattletail whiskers, used to revive patients and triage centers. Aromatic beverage served piping hot. According to folktales, it can almost wake the dead. Interesting.
Cinder Brick Stout sure goes down smooth, then stays in your gut like a rock.
So, when I am able to pull out my shield, I'm not able to in the hub world, nor am I able to use any of my weapons. I will pull it out faster. It does take less damage, hopefully. You do need a little bit of strategy to use your shield. You can overcome not being able to have that strategy, but...
Kid don't know what's out there waiting for him.
But I would recommend instead developing the skill. So we go back to the Skyway.
The Skyway. Now the kid can ride the wind to distant lands.
So this is our map, and this most certainly is not all the locations, but they are the first few levels. This is where we started, the Wharf District. If we wanted to go back there, I'm not sure we can, since it was the first kind of tutorial area. Most places you can go back and do it again, but it doesn't look like you can in this one. Let's see what the info says.
The Wharf District. Folks sail deep into the boundless sea from here.
is to see on the map. So the Bastion is our home base, and we've unlocked the Workman Ward and the Breaker Barracks. And each one of these is going to be an episode for me. We're going to do just one level, and that's it. Except for things like the Breaker Barracks. Because the Breaker Barracks, as we go and show you, aren't levels. They are...
The Breakers used to come here for target practice. Used to play a little game. See who could bust the most targets in the fewest shots.
So this is actually a challenge. If we can get it under a certain number of shots, it will unlock 1, 2, or even all 3 of these for a first, second, and third place.
He's focused, he's armed, and he's off.
So that's not the right button. So you, with the controller, use the right trigger and the left trigger. And what you can do is target something far away and then line it up and release it. And if you got a power shot on that, then that would have broken all 3 of them. So I'm not getting power shots.
The perfect shot just happens in a flash.
So there's a power shot. Not even lining up very well. So not doing very well. There is a prime example. You can go through 3 of these pretty easily. Yeah, I should have done that. But
Puts on the right solid performance.
so if I could have done that in 5 shots or fewer, I would have unlocked the first place prize. I'm surprised I even unlocked the second place prize. So we get something stringy, which is our upgrade material. We haven't picked that up yet. We also have something heavy, which is we have 2 of these. We need the arsenal. We have all these items. So you keep the items even if you talk about them. Then we have something fancy. There's an upgrade material for a different weapon that we haven't unlocked yet. So now you have 2 options on these little platforms. You can either click the skyway, or we can hit restart.
Kid ain't had enough of the Breakers barracks.
Now we don't get the opportunity to yet again fire and unlock these. Once you've unlocked something, you've unlocked it. I may have to make special episodes just for
Takes practice, and a mighty strong bow helps too.
Now, see, this is like the first mention of the triggering with left trigger and right trigger. That is for any weapon, really, but you have to know about it. So you have to get basically a power shot this direction, and then this direction, and this direction. And that would be your 4th shot. Then you have just the opportunity to target this one and any that you might have not destroyed elsewhere in your 5th shot to get first place. Maybe I will get first place on all of them. Maybe I won't. Maybe I'll put a lot of that off till later as my fingers remember how to play this game, which can be kind of a fast-paced game. we go back to the Skyway.
He returns with some of the materials we need.
Now the Skyway takes you back to the Bastion every time, and then you have to go from the Bastion back to where you want to go.
Sometimes a single look says it all.
We have nothing new to say, so the symbol is not next to him. As we get more cores, we will be able to upgrade more facilities. But that is where we're going to end episodes, is when I get back to the Bastion and am done upgrading it, ready to jump out. So I hope you stick with me through this series. I end all my series by asking that you like my videos, share them, subscribe to my channel, and watch every second of my videos, because that helps me out too. If you want to support me, I do have fan funding enabled. What you do is you click on my name, you go to my main YouTube page. There on the right is a blue button that says support this channel. Click there. YouTube takes care of all the transaction information. I never see your credit card or anything like that. Any amount would definitely be appreciated. I am a very new YouTuber. I'm trying to make a career out of it. This is all I'm doing. So any support you can do will definitely be appreciated. Also, one way to support me, turn off those ad blockers when you're watching my videos, or you whitelist me, or just whitelist all of YouTube. That really does help me a lot. When you look at ads, when you click on ads that are relevant to you and interesting, all that helps me a lot. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Google+, or friend me on Steam or Battle.net, all that information is down below in the description. Please check out my YouTube page, watch some of my other playlists. Some of my other series are being released. Right now, the series that are still being released are Hearthstone, that is a online collectible card game, and that is my series where I talk about what's going on my channel and in my life. So go watch the tutorial of that if you don't know how to play the game, then skip to the most recent one, and you'll get the most recent bit of information about what's going on. My other series that's coming out right now is Plague Inc. Evolved, which is an early access look at a Windows version of a cell phone game where you play as a plague and try and infect and eliminate all of humanity. It's not as bloody or as gory as you would think. It's mostly just a simulator game, and it's kind of educational even. So those are my 3 main series. They are all released at noon, Monday through Friday. So yeah, there's lots of other series on my playlist. Check those out. If I am not still releasing it like those 3, that means the whole thing is done, beginning to end. You can watch it in one long burst if you feel like it. Again, I want to say thank you for watching this. Thank you for supporting me. Please keep watching. Please subscribe. Alright, we're done. Thanks. Have a good evening.